Yo, baseline.
What
Inspector.
That's an intro.
There you go.
That's an intro and a half.
That's for the radio.
That.
No, that's for the radio. That's for the people listening with audio. You know, you're now listening to the Dead Air FM. Yo, baseline selector. Give me a remix on that. Run it back. Yeah, DJ Blank on a mic.
30 seconds on the pause. Come back. Feeling all right.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of good. That could be like a new segment, like bar for bar deadlock raps. You can throw that in. You know what I mean?
You pushed me to the limit already. Like I had to come up with something on the spot. I rhymed all right with tonight. That's not cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. You know, that's pretty good.
It's pretty baseline. It's pretty baseline.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Spirit haze. She'd be burning down the enemy team when she blaze.
You've got Tezza bullets ready to tase.
Ooh.
I'm here for it. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. I've been in the shower. I've been rapping to myself.
Yeah.
Crying a couple of times. You know, it's all good.
Have you heard about so this is a thing that people do. So apparently if you eat fruit in the shower, like shower mango, shower orange, shower watermelon, perhaps.
Shower watermelon, yeah.
Okay. Basically, because your olfactory system gets more opened up when water's present, you can smell more. People enjoy the taste of the fruit more, and it's not as messy because you're already getting wet and clean.
You heard about those people who wear socks in the bath?
No, that's not normal.
Apparently it feels nice.
Shower fruit's fine. Socks in the bath, that's not for me.
Yeah. It's like 3 years back. People were like, yeah, just taking photos of themselves socks in the bath.
Can't be doing that.
Yeah. This is pre everyone wanting pictures of socks in the bath.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. This is like, oh, you're weird. Dude.
Yeah.
Not
We've
sure
got a caller on line 4, sending in some pictures of him having a bath with socks on.
Socks in the bath. Yeah,
Yo.
not cool.
Stop that. If you're doing that, stop that.
I don't know, man. It's meant to feel good. So, like, they...
Send an email. Send an email. Let us know.
Not hurting anyone. Yeah, let us know.
Have you ever eaten a mango in the shower? Have you ever worn socks in the bath?
Have you socked in the water? Yeah.
Tweet us. Let us know.
Let us know.
At Dead Air. Use the hashtag shower socks.
Hashtag mango in the socks.
Yeah, mango bath, shower socks.
That could be gross, actually. Someone's going to do that.
Probably. We'll probably get sent some pictures, I would imagine.
Prime respect if you do, honestly. I don't think I'd want to see your mangoes in your socks, but I will respect you more for it.
That sounds like you want to... That happened to me at school, actually. Just so you know, that did happen to me at school. A kid basically...
Mango sock?
Yeah, no, because what you do is you'd put like soft fruit in a sock, and then you could hit someone with it, but it wouldn't bruise.
This is like nerfed stone in the sock.
Yeah. So
it's like more acceptable.
Growing up in London, you used to be wary of these things. They'd come at you, the mandem. They'd pop out at a bus stop, mangoes in a sock.
Yeah.
Douche.
How do we always manage to find some way to like do fruit, like a fruit segment?
It's just common. It's common.
Like
See, this is how we weed out that like 5% of people that go, yeah, I tuned in. First 3 minutes, they're just rapping and talking about socks and fruit. Yeah, and then we discuss the game, and then they're already gone. So they've typed up their message on Reddit, and it's too late.
Yes, you've turned it off at a prime time, a beautiful moment.
That's what you get.
I've never heard of whacking someone with a mango infused sock.
Yeah, oranges, crazy. Apples, all sorts. Usually slightly soft fruit. Fruit that has a skin that's soft on the inside. You know what I mean? Harder fruit, probably going to do some damage on that one.
Yeah, like an old pear. That'd work.
Bit squishy. Yeah, it's kind of like a bad game of Conkers.
Yeah, like that one would hurt, but like it would compress on itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It'd be like, bam, you'd feel the initial hit, but then it would soften.
Bam! Liverpool pear to the jaw. Bam!
And you're like, oh, you've hit me.
Yeah.
But respectfully.
Maybe that could be the new deadlock ability, you know?
What,
pear
mango sock?
Yeah.
Pear sock. Yeah, pear sock.
Fruit sock. It rotates.
The new item.
It's a consumable.
Oh, that would be cool. Like on your bar, it like constantly rotates through fruits, and you've got like depending on when you press it, you get a different effect. That'd be cool.
I'd like that. I do like the idea. I always thought the weird kids would be more fun. At this point, I quite like the idea of like, you know, a character who's designed around like wall running. This whole kit's really out there. Yeah. I want stuff like that where it is more weird. Like you have a gambling man and he like, you know, his whole kit is designed around like he has to gamble. He's got to be on the sin of sacrifices. Maybe sometimes his damage is like 5 times. Sometimes it's 1 time. So you have to get it at the right time. So I can't ult yet. I can't. I have to wait.
Who's that guy from Jujutsu Kaisen? JJK, Gamba Man. That's definitely not his name. Kinji Hikari. Yeah, so this guy, like,
Right.
basically the way it works is that he can get a jackpot. Like,
Okay.
that's his special ability. But if he gets the he gets loads of different abilities. Some are crap. That's fine. But if he gets a jackpot, he's effectively invincible for 30 minutes, making him one of the strongest characters in the entire series. It's crazy. Really cool. Someone's going to correct me on the timer for how long it lasts, but
It's actually 24 minutes.
I'm not on the Wikipedia right now. I just know his name. So that's about it. But yeah, it'd be cool. I do think there's a lot of heroes at the moment where a bit bland. There are some bland things going on. I think that a lot of combination stuff could be really cool. I like the idea of having a jackpot, man.
Yeah.
Like, his abilities do different things at certain times. There's a slight skill base to it where it's like they're useful in different moments. You've got to crack down on when to use them. They're like interchangeable. I think overall, right now, abilities are cool. They are cool. I think the issue we're having is that we're going through a bit of an item renaissance period where everything's becoming more spirit based. A lot of the gun characters are suffering because of this. But I think I'd like for Valve to start exploring some more complexities, even if it's just within the skills themselves. I was having a good conversation with someone the other day saying that it'd be cool if you had those perfect markers on some abilities. So like you get someone in the middle of a skill shot, it does more damage. Maybe it has a hidden component to it. Adds a dot or something. That'd be cool. I'd like that. I think there is some conversation about some abilities being pretty boring. Some kits just been boiled down to press 4. Spirit Hazes, you know who you are. I hate you. Get out of my games. If I could ban Haze right now, I would. I don't think it's as much of it. So this is the annoying thing, right? It's not as much of a problem like past Phantom because people just stand on the Haze. Still seems mega cringe to me that it takes like 5 people communicating like in a solo queue format. Be like, we all have to stand on the Haze. Come on, it should be like 2 people you need to count on one character. It's crazy.
It is mad that she's basically just become her own little raid boss at this point. She just gets away with it, and like if you don't know the mechanic, you just get overwhelmed. It's interesting.
It's true. It's a raid boss.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Exactly.
Like you just have to basically soak her DPS over enough people, or kill her before she even gets to ult. Well, that's it. It's like it's hilarious.
I need my weak aura. I need a weak aura for it.
It just pops up. Run away. Go back in. Soak. Yeah. 5 on the Haze. 5 on the Haze. And you're like, we have to stand on it, guys. I'm surprised they haven't done that, actually. Just pour over all the, like, WoW pop-ups. You know what I mean? It's like the one where you just go, so run away, little girl. And you're like, I'm in the fire. Like,
that would be unreal. That would be unreal. I actually really like that. That'd be cool.
Bro, I would like
it would defeat the purpose of any skill.
With the WoW HUD as well. Like, just change the whole thing. Just role play.
Yeah.
You're just there. You've got an orc mage as Yamato. What are you doing? I'm a fire mage, mate. I know you did Infernus. Yeah. Can you cast Blizzard? I'm a fire mage, actually. Yeah. But it's on both specs. I'm a fire mage.
Who would be the shadow bolter of the group? Like who would be the shadow? Like press one button to win. The moment he's kind of a Spirit Haze, just like press 4, but it's not the
same. It's not the same. Maybe early lane, Vexing Bolt, Magician.
Oh yes, dude, yes. That is a good one. Yeah, Vexing Bolt. It is a bolt. It looks like a shadow bolt. It is a shadow bolt.
It rinses you.
Yeah, it's becoming problematic. I get it. There are some heroes that are broken. I think Valve knows that, honestly. Yeah, I think they're aware. I think it's hard though, because if you're anything like us, we play a lot of Deadlock. We get out there now and again.
We're on those streets, actually.
Yeah,
I've been around New York, right? Yeah.
I'm in Prohibition times. I've not had alcohol in weeks.
I'm building Spirit Haze in your games, and then complaining.
I'm complaining about it, which is good. Yeah, if you aren't using the forums, absolutely use the forums. That's what they're there for. Guys, everyone gets a say. They do get read. I know they get read. So make sure that you get in there on the forums, and if you don't like, try and fix it. But again, to the original point, I think that if you're playing in those games, I think it's fine to be unhappy with some of the stuff. I think right now Valve is having a little bit of a troublesome time with it, purely because there is very specific things that need fixing within the item categories. Some items are more busted than others. Some heroes are getting incredibly tanky very quickly. And right now, it wouldn't make sense to balance some of those characters and bring down those numbers when it's like they're trying to do it via items. And changing character now for it to once again need to be changed to get them buffed back up in, I don't know, a couple of weeks. Maybe I don't know when the next patch is coming, honestly. When did we have our last one? Like 2 weeks ago?
About a week and a half, I think, since Free Lanes. It's been about something like that.
Maybe next week, a couple of weeks. Who knows? But by the time the next patch rolls around, I imagine they'll
11 days.
Try and fix the 11 days. Okay, so maybe 3 days if we're lucky. They'll try and fix those things. But yeah, the game is undergoing a lot of changes, as we know from Free Lanes. So I think it's just a case of a month. Yeah. A month of patience required. I mean, the game's not unplayable right now.
I think that's the thing. I think, like, to boil it down, right, you add basically the knee-jerkers that... Sounds like a weird term. Knee-jerkers.
Bloody knee-jerker.
What are you doing, you knee-jerker? I can't help it. I'm all over the place, jerking. Stop it now. Stop it now. Yeah, man, I feel like you had those people that basically were just like, you know what? I hate this. It's different. Oh, man. But instead, I think in reality, the people that have stuck with it, I actually now see a lot of them that have come back around. They're like, yeah, I really enjoyed this, actually. Yeah. I kind of like the direction of the game. I feel like a lot of the things that people were jumping to the conclusion of, like, oh, you just can't rotate anymore, man. You can't fight anymore, man. It's like, no, dude, the map's just changed. You just got to get used to it. You got to use the bounce pads more. You got to, like, actually roam together a bit more. Farming is key. That's, like, the whole point of the game right now, which is something I imagine they probably want to look at as well, because it's become a bit bloated, a bit exaggerated, where, those are the roots of the issues. I think if we go from that side, like, we've been loving it. We're playing loads of Deadlock again every night. We're on the grind. You're getting, like 5-6 games in a night minimum. So we're back on those streets every night, and it's been fun. It's been enjoyable. I feel like also it's a little bit easier to onboard other players now. Like, we've been playing with a lot more friends because there's no solo lane action. There's no like, oh, sorry, mate, you're going to have to either win or lose your lane, and for 20 minutes you're not going to see or talk to any of us outside of the occasional joke. Now you actually like see each other and you could help each other, and you duo in with more friends a lot more commonly because you just have to, which I think innately is better. But yeah, I think like the game's in a good state. It's fun. I don't hate anything per se. There's just things where it's like, that's clearly not supposed to be that way, and probably will be changed. But yeah, I think like we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Free Lanes was good, man. Like, it was a good update. I think for nearly 2 weeks of playing it, like it's been really fun. We've had some great games on it.
Yeah, it's been good. I think that you're right. Like, in terms of the social aspect of things, having like 2 players in each lane is nice. I think that you have that, and a lot of characters are, in a sense, like created to combo one another. Like, if you're playing as a duo, you can create some cool lanes. I mean, we played against a Lash and a Pocket earlier. Horrible lane, but
really annoying.
Disgusting to play against. Literally just all on us all the time. The burst potential was crazy, but fair enough to them. They had a killer combo. It was definitely problematic to play against, but that's nice. It's nice that people can play the game and like feel comfortable. Like a case of, oh, I might be in a solo lane this match and I won't be able to play with you, but this time it's like they're able to play together, and that laning phase, which is quite a big chunk of the game, like they can really enjoy that because they can start to figure out like, what's our combo, how do we play this lane together, and you get better over time of doing that. It feels like real camaraderie there. I think that in terms of ganking, that's kind of out the window a little bit, which is unfortunate. I've been watching like quite a few analysis videos recently. I don't agree with quite a few of them, but I think a lot of them is a case of, if you get like a 2-man kill in the lane, you completely clear them out. You just push the wave so they lose creep, but instead of ganking now, you more ideal to go like steal this in a sacrifice. Which does feel a bit weird. It's like you steal their jungle, so it does feel more like that first 15 minutes. It's more 2v2, isolated in your lanes. I would like it to be a little bit more. I don't know how to put it. A little bit more team based, where you can go help your teammates. Because I think the few times where I do get a good gank off, it's like I've teleported from yellow to green. But that doesn't open until quite a long time ago. It feels weird that the easiest ganking opportunity is to go from this side of the map to this side of the map.
Well, I think that's the weird thing, is because it is that point where getting to or from mid lane is what feels awkward. That's the bit that like
I'd agree
feels
with that.
really jarring, right? Because it's why, like, I'd say arguably as well, when we've spoken about it now, I think anecdotally, attempts at mid-boss steals are down. I think percentage-wise, it's going down a lot. You can still risk it, but you've got to be in a way more advanced location. Whereas before, sometimes you could have those players where you spawn in onto the zip, you're there. Like, if you had zipline boost, you're there. You're going to make it 100%. You get the chance to try and fight for it.
Do it as well.
Yeah, whereas now it's like that central zip line, it gets you there, but then you're 2 layers deep because you've got to go down the first area, down the second area. By that point, they've probably already taken it. If you go to the outer lanes, you better hope you got fast movement speed. Maybe you can slide in if you're lucky. But it just feels like that's lost a lot of its attempt potential. Like the quick rotates towards mid lane, feel a bit weird, feels a bit odd. I don't know if maybe even with that, you could kind of still have the idea of the same lanes, but just split the zip as it gets closer towards blue lane, so it goes towards the edges. So you have the choice if you're going to the right-hand side or left-hand side. You know, First Guardian, you can have it start there, but as the game goes on, have the 2 little connection points. Just quick turn, you know what I mean? Have a little quick turn to the right, turn to the left, so it at least drops you off near the fucking point to go down, and try that. Maybe that's a concept.
That'd be cool. Maybe like require you to take a certain amount of guardians or something, and then it changes it for your side. Like
that's what I think. Like late game, you know what I mean?
Maybe
like
maybe
after the objectives are destroyed.
Maybe you take middle walker, then you get the double zip.
Yeah,
that'd be
because
cool.
then it's not as if it's taking you drastically further. It's just saving a few seconds, which lets you attempt to deny mid boss. You know, it gives you that chance of like, okay, we could try and go for it. Like we have zipline boost.
It'd definitely be weird with like the way creeps work, but
they still drop off at the regular point. They just never go past it. You know what I mean? It'd just be a split there.
Oh, I get you. I get what you're saying. Yeah, interesting.
Just cooking up.
Just throwing out.
Maybe. Do you know what I mean? Pulled that one out. But I'm just thinking because there is something weird about trying to go for mid boss right now.
It is, though, because it feels like those outer lanes don't really hold as much value anymore. Whereas like before, they're good. You take down the walkers, and that's what they're there for. But I feel like a lot of the action is centered around blue lane. Like,
especially late game, you always gravitate back to blue now. You're always there.
Always back to blue. But if the case of like if the enemy team pushes in blue before they do mid boss, even worse. You don't even have the chance to get on the zip line at that point. So that's really awkward. So I'm not too sure how to go about it. I mean, maybe because it's so far underground as mid boss, that's like kind of a big deal. Also, dude, just the amount of like bloody unstoppables, man.
I suppose that is the bigger issue right now.
Really hard to steal, no matter what you do. Which I guess is nice for like a team, where it's like, we've done mid boss, we have gone through all of the expected scenarios. There's 4 down, there's 2 up. But if you're a team, it's like, well, there's 4 of us here. We could effectively go for this 6v4. But even in that case, you're just not getting anywhere near it. Like if someone's bought unstoppable, someone's got an Abrams ult, Yamato, it has become very, very difficult to take off enemy team now, barring like some crazy mistakes. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Honestly, I'm kind of undecided on it right now. It just does feel awkward a lot of times.
I think it was always going to happen as well, where like the longer everyone's played, the better people would become at understanding at least how it works. But I feel like the difference was there was more opportunities for variance in it, where there would be misplays because more people could rotate in, and there was more willing to run the risk. Because especially on the older map, games were lasting, 30 minutes. It was around there. It was 30 to 40 minutes sometimes, whereas now you're looking at like an hour for most games. And I think it's just not worth it because in some players' minds, like even if you could potentially steal it, they're like, oh well, if I go for this and then I'm dead for 70 seconds,
we just extends for 10 minutes. Yeah,
that's what I mean. It's like I'm already invested an hour, might as well just defend base for 10 minutes and then they lose it and then we're fine. I think that's the problem of it. It's kind of like stagnated in that way. But I was saying to you earlier when we played, I was like, they've got unstoppable. Why not just add stoppable? And then you can, you know what I mean, little AoE area. If you time it right, it removes unstoppable. Because then one of you runs the risk of not having unstoppable, but you have to use it as an offensive item around them. So they'd have to lock you down, make sure you can't get stoppable off. You know,
it feels like a crazy item idea. I like the idea of it. I think it would really kill a lot of characters who like Unstoppable. I think Unstoppable is just a weird item in general. I think we've had a lot of discussions about this in the past where it's like either like right now 6 seconds Unstoppable feels egregious. I think it's more a case because a lot of the heroes, and this is my thoughts on the matter, is that a lot of the heroes that benefited from Unstoppable crazily and were really problematic in the past were the ones that sort of fell out of favor. For instance, Seven's crazy right now. I think everyone knows Seven's crazy. I think his win percentage is nuts.
It's through the roof, yeah.
On Deadlock stats tracker. So is Hayes in certain portions of the ranking system within the game. But both of those heroes just go nuts for Unstoppable. Like, what are you meant to do against a 7? 6 seconds of Unstoppable on an ult that is ticking 300 every like 0.5 seconds. It's insane. Same with her Hayes, like 6 seconds that she's just sat in that ult, just beaming you down. There's not much you can do against it. And I think it is just a case of like a lot of the heroes that are really annoying with Unstoppable are becoming more and more popular in our games. So you're seeing the big issue. I don't know. My thoughts are like just bake Unstoppable into some characters' kits and remove the item, or bring it down to 4 seconds. Something like that. 6 seconds feels crazy.
It is long. It is really long. Well, I think that's probably a better way to do it, arguably anyway, because then you can also lock them out from buying certain items. Because you already do that in some characters anyway, where it's like, you have charges, but you can't buy extra charge for certain things. I don't think it would be a bad decision to make it so some heroes just can't buy some items. Not everyone should have access to all of them, because it feels like some of them innately are just crazy when you have, like, the back-to-back E-shift on, like, a Calico. That's just lame, man. Like, that just sucks. It feels really annoying, and it's just like, oh, you've E-shifted. Oh, you've used your ult. Oh, your E-shift's almost back. And it's like, all right,
Yeah. Again, it's like, it's so hard to, like, make those decisions, really. It's like, for some characters, they desperately need E-shift. Like, for instance, Vindictors love E-shift just because you get a Lash in your game, you get an Abrams.
Yeah.
Like, you need that E-shift to, like, prevent them from taking you out of flight a lot of times. I see a lot of Vindictors these days build an Echo Shard as well, which I think is a really cool solution to the problem of just, like... Because they're building more into gun damage these days. So you just Echo Shard, you never use any other ability than flight. And you constantly have it off cooldown, which is cool. But I do think there's a case to be made where some characters, like Ethereal Shift on Calico, feels really quite bad. Now, is that a problem with her kit, or is it a problem with the item? I don't know. I think that her kit is really cool. It becomes bonkers when you add Ethereal Shift to the situation. Same with Shiv. Shiv Ethereal Shift is nightmarish to deal with because it's off cooldown so bloody often that you just can't deal with him because he's constantly healing. Hard to take him down. He slices and dices through. He heals all that back. I hate it. I watched a clip the other day where I think a Shiv 1v6 essentially, and the comment from the amateur was like, "This is the reason why Shiv needs to get skinned alive." And it's like, honestly, I agree. So yeah, it is hard. It's hard to find a good balance. I think for your Ethereal Shift, maybe just bringing the cooldown up a little bit more might be ideal. Because right now, like, being able to use it between fights is kind of crazy. Like, but between in the same fight, I mean, like, you Ethereal Shift once and then you Ethereal Shift again in a fight. Like, either there's a problem with the time to kill, or there's a problem with the character's kit.
Does it not? Well, that's the other thing. Is surely at that point, then we should just the other solution that maybe would fix it would just be if you innately have any of those effects that mimic an item effect on your character, you should just reset the cooldown for it. You know what I mean? So, like, if you E-shift as Calico, you can still use Return to Shadows, but using Return to Shadows then also still resets the cooldown on E-shift. So you only have one specific, back-to-back use being like, oh, I've got to use my E-shift first, then my ult. So you have to at least think about it a little bit more, where it's not like they can go, oh, I'm going to E-shift, Return to Shadows, now my cooldown's nearly off, use it
shift again.
Yeah, that's what I mean. At least it like resets it because it's the same effect. Like you're just doing the same thing. Again, it's different. And you have an AOE and you deal damage, you can move around, but like you're using it in the same way where they're stacking them together. Because these shifters itself, like it's not an egregious item. Like it makes sense. It's worth picking up. It's one of those things that you do want to buy sometimes, and it's fine. Like it isn't like it's entirely broken on its own, but it's more like these combinations that we're getting now, which I suppose is good because again, the rising tide is moving all ships. You know what I mean? Like everyone's actually learning items more now. I feel like people are experimenting a little bit more. Spirit's still kind of crazy, but that's all most people do. But it feels like we're pushing it back ever so slightly, where even though gun really isn't that great right now, people are at least trying it again, which is fun. Because I miss that. Like, gun builds, when they were overpowered as hell, were a bit lame. And that was all you went up against, right? But
dude, the Kelvin gun builds were crazy. If you guys weren't here for that, like Kelvin had some of the highest gun scaling in the game. So people would just like build frenzy and everything on them. It was the worst thing ever. You trap you in your dome, and then that was it. You were just in a cage match with one of the strongest characters in the game, hitting like 300 damage headshots, something silly.
It was the lane with the ice beam as well, when it would just go, and you're like, all right, I guess that's all my health gone. Like I'm just dead.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird things. I think actually Kelvin might be one of the most broken characters. Like the amount. I think there is characters that have been consistently strong and have had like nerfs to them. Like Bebop, for instance, like they're constantly trying to fix his kit. But it's never been a case where Bebop has just been demolished in the game. I think Kelvin's had like his gun phase, and then when it was like global warming man, I think that was the build. Whereas 3 was just annihilating your whole team. Crazy stuff. But yeah, I think that I'm thinking about it a bit more. Like Ethereal Shift, Return to Shadows. It's a cool combination. It actually is a cool combination. I think the frustration comes off the back of like, after that's happened, you still can't kill the Calico. That feels wrong. And I think that's because Calico's a little bit overtuned. Yeah. But not only that, I think healing items or healing in general is overtuned, right? Healing in general is overtuned where it's like she comes out of E-Shift, Return to Shadows, hits you with her 2. She's back up like 700 HP.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me. So I think that might be the issue because that's the same problem with Shiv, right? Ethereal Shift into a 1700 heal, that's nuts. Like I don't think that should be the case. So maybe it's not these items or these combinations the problem, but more survivability of characters after the fact. Like I think I would be happy if a Calico is like E-shifted, she returned the shadow, she's wasting my time. I've still killed her though. You know, but she's brought valuable time to her team. Yeah. When it's the case where Calico E-shifts into Return to Shadows, and then she's killed all my team, I'm angry. I'm angry about that. So, yeah, there is multiple problems currently playing the game, which is essentially what we're getting to the root of. But the game's still really fun.
I think that's the thing that a lot of people were overlooking, because I saw there was like there was a post where it was someone was like, oh, I saw that the game's kind of changed a lot, they've made it 3 lanes, is now a good time to start playing it? I've been putting off like playing the game, and I feel like dude, the game's at a good spot, it's fun. If anything as well, like if you're a solo person, it's probably a bit easier because you just need one friend. Like get one friend, duo queue together, you learn the game together, win, lose together, it doesn't matter. You'll just get better as a unit, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot easier from that standpoint now. But it's fun. Like I think we've had a lot of fun with it, especially since the patch has come out, right? Like we've been playing so much each night again. We're just constantly on playing. It feels enjoyable. There's stuff that you look at and you can tell isn't right. And some games, I think the biggest issue of it is some games where you don't feel like you've won. You spend an hour and 10 minutes playing a game, end the game, and it's more just like you've been let out of prison. Like you don't feel like, oh, that was sick, we beat them. It's just like, all right, should we queue again? Like, glad that one's over. That's the bit that's gotten a bit lame for me, and is the only sense that I think that's the issue of it, where games have become so elongated because all it is who farms the most wins. Like, you have to farm, you have to jungle. Region fights are a bit weird. You spend a lot of time in base. That's kind of my main issue. Like, all the hero stuff aside, everyone's a bit broken, everyone's a bit annoying in their own way. That's kind of always been the way this game works, right? Where, like, we could all sit here and complain about everyone the entire day and be like, oh, Bebop, nah. But in reality, I think, like, to a degree, most things are fine. Holiday's a bit of a pain in the arse sometimes. Calico's a bit of a pain in the arse. Magician feels a bit annoying early game. They fixed Viper, to be honest. I think she was kind of broken that first release patch. Now I don't even think she's that much of an issue. You can kind of like out DPS a Viper if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But I think those are the only issues of the game. I feel like it goes on a little bit long now. It's all about the jungle. Some heroes need a bit of a workup. That's like the three things, if you had to pin it down, that I'd say kind of frustrating right now, outside of the game being fun.
Which I think is really cool. I actually think those are good problems to have for Deadlock.
It's fixable.
In my opinion, it's all fixable stuff. I think if you're a very new player to the game, you're getting a lane versus a magician. It's quite easy to identify. It's like, wow, that's doing a lot of damage. That feels very impressive. Can we maybe change that? And I think that's a good thing when you can have a case of like new players coming in being like, right, that seems like an issue to me, but we can fix that in future. So that's cool. I genuinely think that right now the devs are definitely cooking of something crazy, which is nice to see, because it does seem to be getting better and better, and we're getting new art passes coming through. I mean, we talked about this a lot last time with Abrams. He looks awesome. I'm excited to see what other characters they start working on. Yamato in particular, Neon Prime outfit for this long is nuts. Let's get her changed. I think everyone's sick of the big ass forehead. I don't know if that's going to change. That might stay.
Just for a meme. Just keep her having a massive head.
Yeah,
could be good. Yeah.
It could be good. So that'd be a nice throwback. So yeah, overall, it has been going in a good direction so far. I think the community's been still loving it. I mean, there's still esports tournaments going on for it right now. I mean, Deadlock Fight Night being the big one at the moment. Big and Brolic just won, which was a very weird thing to see on my timeline. The Big and Brolic won versus Melee Creeps. That's nice to see. Again, there is like quite a few big names within there still. I mean, Ado's still playing for Big and Brolic. So yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see. EU's still on top though, which to me is also a little bit surprising that they've managed to stay clear and ahead for this long. But yeah, NA is definitely catching up a little bit, in my opinion.
I think it's more one of those. It's interesting because it's also like the most English players I've ever seen doing well in esports in like the past 28 years of my life, which is kind of crazy. But it is funny because it's one of those where it kind of reminds me a lot of like the sort of the early days with NIP and CS:GO, where it was just like basically they came in, started playing, didn't stop playing when everyone else was like, oh, the game doesn't feel great, don't like this, weren't adapting to the changes. It feels like that, where you've got a lot of players that have stuck around, haven't gone anywhere, haven't strayed, where you can see like some people that dabbled and now we don't see their names anymore. They've kind of pieced out, they're off playing the next thing. And it's interesting, like the core group of professional players we've been left with, some of them are just absolutely excelling at a rapid rate because obviously like their mechanics now are so refined. And I think we're also getting to a point where even the ones that were strong at aiming, they're building up everything else around that. The people that weren't great at aiming, they already had those MOBA mechanics. That's only got more refined, but because they're playing such an intense shooter all the time, they're now getting those skills up as well. And it's really cool because you've got sort of this overlap of so many players that I think did come from other esports, which we always get whenever a new game comes out. But my favorite thing about Deadlock was always the fact it felt like we actually had people that were endemic to the scene just popped up out of nowhere, and it was like, I just like playing this game, and they're damn good at it. So it's really cool that I think you've got a mix of that where it's attracted, old school people, well, not even old school, but just people from a different game, and now also their own independent players as well at an early period, because that's something that took CS like years, where now you've got the generations like cracked out 16-year-olds that are the best in the world. But with this, you've got people that are like actually damn young, like playing the game, that are like 17, 18, sort of popping up, just enjoying it, and they're rocking like 2,000 hours in the game now. We're not even at a year yet. When you think about it that way as well, even if you got in, like May 18th, first build of the game, first sort of round of invites, right?
Yeah.
We're only going to be at a year in like a couple months.
Yeah, which is nuts to me. Like the amount of people are still playing this game now. I think that's a good point you bring up, because it is a lot of the same names that we see continue to play the game, which is great because I think we have had a really good endemic scene of Deadlock esports as well, which is cool to see. But not only that, just the people who have stuck around playing the game just casually as well. Like, I think anyone who loves this game really does love the game, and is very, very passionate about it and will continue to play it. Again, like, even Valve, I think they understand it because they're expanding the amount of lore that's in game as well, in terms of the conversations between characters, which is really sick to see. And I think that they're right in doing that, because I think that the game has a lot of vibrancy and life to it, which is more than could be said for some other games where they don't really have that. It's like you're jumping in, you know the general backstory of your character through a trailer somewhere or something.
Yeah.
But this game, you could really love a character to death. I mean, I've seen players play Ivy for the longest time.
Yeah. I think that's the difference. That's like, it's a Valve staple as well, whereas the difference of like Valve don't try and like, make you read a book and you sit there reading your Prima Deadlock guide and you're like, all right, Lash, yeah, okay, cool. They do it through like environmental storytelling, you know what I mean? Like discussions, conversations, things that you just overhear or see, or the map itself like teaches you things. And I think that's something that they've always done so much better than most other companies in the industry, because it is tangible, it is fun. It's like even like the little bits when they add something new, certain things are just really cool and resonate with you. It's like all the Viper lines that when it turns out she's now like a massive fangirl of Lash. That's really fun. It's like, oh, that's actually sick.
Hey, Shiv. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well.
you know what I mean? It's just like, she's just there. Because I always like that. It's like if you've got a friendly Lash on your team and a friendly Bebop dies, he's just like, no, I'm cool with it. And she does the same thing where she's like, oh no, someone killed Bebop. Oh, know?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. It's nice. I mean, I've played Viper a lot. I mean, whoever did her voice lines, big fan, by the way. I think Viper's my favorite character just because she does, I don't know, it doesn't, not resonates with me because I'm not a villain at the end of the day, but it's a case where I think I enjoy like her personality quite a bit because she's fun. But I enjoy playing Viper for that reason, which is cool because I think everyone has that same vibe of like they find a character they like, they resonate with that character, they're like, yeah, I can get behind this. They start to look into a little bit of the lore, like people draw loads of fan art of these characters as well, which is cool. It's nice to see. It is really, really nice to see.
Dude, that's like the mad thing as well. I think it's so different about Deadlock that some Valve games have it, and like TF2 kind of had it. Half-Life has it because it's just been around for so long. I feel like Dota to a degree, like people really love the characters and make fan art and stuff. But like coming from CS, it was just like, what are you going to draw fan art of, homie? Like people didn't, right? You know what I mean? Like no one gave a shit.
This is like, man whatever. With gun.
Yeah. And it's like there was super cool stickers and super cool artwork in the game, but that was just all made by the community to sell skins, and that's dope. But like tangible, just like I'm gonna cosplay this character from CS, unless it's like Agent K with a condom on your head and you've got the major. No one gives a shit. You know what I mean? Like no one cares. But with Deadlock, it was cool that it was actually like, oh, it's the first Valve game where it feels like actually everyone is able to just like cosplay, and I'd even be interested. You know what I mean? I'd be like, yeah, I'll dress up as Lash. Like that's funny. Yeah. Because it's one of those where the characters are actually interesting enough, and if you're into it and you like it, it is cool. It is fun. Like they've done a really good job of making likable, terrible cunts and also really fun, like kind of cute characters. So you've got a mix for everyone. Like you've got the people where it's like if you want someone that is a bit of a hard nut and kind of like going to crack those one-liners, you've got that. If you want to play Ivy, you've got Ivy. You've also even you've got your Hazes where it's like she doesn't really come out with anything funny, but she's also kind of cool. And if you read between the lines, like she's a really interesting character. Yeah. I think that's the difference. Is there's enough like diversity in terms of just what you're playing and what you're looking at any given time, but it all fits, and it will fit even more synonymously as well, like synonymously even once we get the art pass, because again, like it's not even that jarring, but it is crazy how much stuff just is unfinished. But you just get past it, it's like, oh, I've just been playing for so long.
I saw a really interesting comment the other day, kind of on this same line. I can't remember who posted it, but honestly, it was very, very funny to me. It was like, Valve are very good at doing storytelling through like environment stuff, like you're saying, and kind of getting those ideas ahead. And it's like, how do you really approach a detective in today's times, where it's like, you got a lot of stuff about cops being a little bit corrupt here and there. But for Abrams, it was some guys that say, well, how do we make a detective likable? How do we make a cop likable? How do we explain to people he does things by the book? Give him a book.
Give him a massive book.
Give him a massive book. That just made me laugh. It's like, yeah, they have taken a lot of like little things, and they're like, this just works. It just works.
Do you know what you've reminded me of as well? I showed you this, but the Chinese Deadlock clone that's popped up. I think it's called Gold Rush.
Oh, AI generated voice lines. So I listened to some of it. Really upset me.
But they're like, so there's like a himbo Abrams who's like a bloke in a suit. But obviously they've like looked at the voice lines for Abrams and kind of just been like, all right, we'll copy that, I guess. But they're hilarious. One of them, I think it's literally just like, you shall not touch what I am protect. Because of the bug.
No, I think the line was like, you cannot touch the untouchable. It's like, what are you saying, dude? Because he's got unstoppable like on his thoughts. It's like, what is going on?
You cannot touch the untouchable.
It was like, I will protect you. And that's just the whole line.
I do. I love it. Like Calico just goes, woof.
Yeah. I don't. Oh god. And they had to like take all the personality out of McGuinness as well. That one really upset me. Just made like really skinny little anime girl. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but everything's of course ripped off entirely one. Like the sounds, the artwork, pictures. They even have like the alt thing at the back that the rocket barrage comes out of. Yeah, I saw it. I was like, what the hell is this? And I think it's like,
it doesn't make you happy at all. I mean, McGuinness is cool because she's fucking strong, right? Like that's what I like about her. Like she is cool because she is so strong in game.
Yeah,
like she has hard badass lines. Right, I enjoy playing her for that reason. She's got a heal in the kit, but like a lot of times I feel like a menace in those matches. Yeah, it's just disgusting, honestly, the way that they handled it. It just
cracked me up. It absolutely cracked me up. Because I was saying to you for ages, I was like, it's going to happen. Like, I expected, honestly, more AAA companies to rip off Deadlock far sooner. I am actually shocked that there is not a Riot Games rip-off of Deadlock that is already out. And I'll mark my words, have this as a timestamp. We can go back to this a couple of years' time from now when they drop, Softlock or whatever it's called.
I'll just be like, with enhanced League of Legends.
We decided to pan the game outwards.
Yeah.
Like, this is revolutionary. We've got 5 lanes. Look, the thing is that Deadlock, it wasn't for me, but I went to Riot Games. I said, Riot, you make the best games in the world. Joe Biden wanted to support Valve's games. Don't listen to this alley cat. He's a saucy little alley cat. I've seen him in a solo lane. He wouldn't survive a minute in a solo lane against my Dynamo.
Nope. He's wrong.
Boring. Boring. But yeah, it's going to happen, bud, 100%. Blizzard are already trying it. And then if you've seen that, they've got their like Overwatch, what do they call it?
Yeah, I have actually. Yeah, I've seen that.
Centipede or something.
I don't know. Because, I mean, at this point, I'm not even sure if that's real because there was I don't even know if it's a lie. It's just the journalist these days, like, how it even just takes me back to when it's like, before the embargo was in place, there was that crazy article that came out. It was like, yeah, I can talk about the game because I just ignored the warning on the screen.
It's the way that he went. So the thing is, if Valve try and say that I've subjected myself to the embargo, they're wrong.
I never pressed OK.
Realized you can press escape and the box goes away, and it was just like,
oh, wild.
I mean, technically, all right, fair play, but on top of that, no. Like, what do you mean? No. That's not how that works. Like, they literally say, please don't talk about this anywhere. This is a private invite test. Like, I didn't click the box, did I?
That's a negative for me.
1-0.
1-0 to you guys, but also 1-0 to my career, unfortunately.
Now, I wonder what happened to him. Because, like, obviously, if you really wanted to as well, I get, like, it's Valve, so they don't release games that often. But I would have straight up just been like, right, well, you're blacklisted from ever getting any access to any of our games ever again. You know what I mean? Like, there's no point. Like, you're never going to get a review code. You're never going to be invited to anything. I don't think they really do stuff like that anyway with Valve. But, like, I would just outright be like, look, you've messed it up for your whole company. How'd you feel about that? Who was it? Was it Game Informer or IGN? Probably one of the two.
I can't remember. I think it was an offshoot or something.
Journalist. Break.
Fucks up.
Embargo. Let's have a look. The Verge.
Yeah, there you go.
The Verge.
But overall, insanity. I don't know. I genuinely don't know what happens afterwards, but I mean, a lot of people were pretty brutal about the situation.
Yeah, I'd imagine so. Like, it was a bit weird. It was like, come on, mate, we doing? Like, if you knew where to look, there was already things. Like, we were doing things, but it was all above board, and it was in the way that Valve said you could. Like, we asked questions. We were like, oh, look, are we allowed to make videos? Yes, but as long as they're private, and you only share them within the Discord. So we did. We had a channel full of unlisted videos. That's what we had on Dead Air back then. We had like 2,000 subs before the game was even searchable on the internet outside of that article.
If you were one of those 2,000 subs, by the way, thank you.
Shout out.
Yeah. We really appreciate you supporting us.
Selector. Remix on a mic for the old school G's. That's going out to Ivy Gaming one time.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Ivy Gaming. If you're
Been
still
around from early. Been around from early.
We really appreciate you. Because
always there.
Always commenting. Always happy about all the stuff we're doing. So really, really appreciate you. Yeah, it's cool. And it's cool all the people who've come since then and just enjoyed the content because we're enjoying putting it out there. Again, overall, like I think it's been an exciting time. It has been an exciting time. I'm very excited for when the game releases. I know it's probably not going to be soon, but when it does pop off, I do think you'll see a lot of people like returning to the game. I think it just has a lot of depth to it. And I think that's the difference between this and some of the other hero shooters on the market at the moment is that the amount of depth there is very significant. The amount of time it takes to learn the game, I think that's always a very positive sign for a game that has a long future for itself.
Well, I think that's the thing, right? Because it's like with Counter-Strike, it was one of those games where like you can play it for 10,000 hours, and only then do you feel like you are, pretty good and like, oh, all right, cool. I get every situation I'm in, but now it's about like getting better in specific things. Do I aim train? Do I do this? Whatever it is. Because it's a game where it's like you can understand it, you can play it, but it's the hidden layer of complexity on top of it. And I feel like Deadlock has that same sort of fundamentals to it, where there is so much more that you can learn. You know, I mean, you can learn more movement, you can learn more item synergies, you can learn more heroes. There's always something else that you can do. Whereas go on.
I was going to say, I think it's very cool the direction they're taking it because with CS, it's like the game is very fun, and we used to play a lot. I enjoy my time playing CS. I never got like fully into it, but I think the difference is that with CS that there always comes a break point where it's like if your aim is not good enough, then that's going to massively hold you back. I would say in a way that Deadlock's definitely more accessible, but it requires a little bit more thinking. I would not say CS players are dumb. They really aren't. A lot of times they're playing like some quantum chess that I don't understand on the rotates and stuff like that. But I think that for Deadlock, you can get a lot more out of it just by being in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. And I think internalizing that is a lot easier than training muscle memory of like how fast can I flick a headshot? How fast can I aim at this guy? A lot of times it is just about making those right decisions, and that's slightly easier to train, but people will always have better decisions than you. So it does feel like you can climb the ranks just by understanding more scenarios and situations without being penalized that you aren't a 16-year-old who has the reflexes of a small agile snake, so you can still keep going.
Oh, the cobra, the mighty cobra. Oh, he's lurking in the bushes. Oh, look at him. Oh,
he's in the veil.
Oh, the rattle of the snake. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. I think it is one of those where I would say Deadlock at this point is definitely more... I feel like, weirdly, Deadlock is one of those games that could attract the youth dem to play it, and you could get, like, younger people that would want to be interested, and if they stepped into it, they'd probably like it. But I feel like it weirdly is one of those games where I could imagine demographic-wise, you've probably got more of a mix of people towards our age, where it is like, sort of you're 25 to 30. You've got people in there that are like, oh, yeah... It's fun, but it's also one of those where if you have enough spare time to I know, but it's mad. If you've got the spare time to invest into it, like you are rewarded for that time put in. It feels tangible because I think we're both at like 700 hours now or something. I think that's where we're kind of sat at the minute.
I would be curious if anyone who's listened this far, like what age groups?
how old are you? Like, that sounds
that sounds really bad. But yeah, it's like if you are like in our age, and 25 to 30, like, I mean, I would be curious because I feel like there is a lot of games out there where it's like if you're younger, you are playing it a lot more. But I do feel like Deadlock attracts like a more of that older crowd as well.
Refined wine drinker.
Yeah, that's you. Yeah, that sounds a lot better than me.
Like, that requires like a smoky cigar room and a bottle of wine with some
prohibition times.
Terry's chocolate oranges. You could. Well, Abrams has a hip flask.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Naughty boy.
His new model, they replaced his badge with a hip flask, but it's got a bullet hole in it.
Oh,
like his life was saved.
Oh, by the hip flask.
Because he nearly got gatted, but Mandem blocked it.
Blocked.
Yeah. Unstoppable.
You cannot touch the untouchable.
You cannot shoot what is unshootable.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Again, it's like there's a lot of things here. I didn't know that, dude. That's cool.
There you go.
That's cool. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there where it's a case of interesting storylines that could be brought up in the future.
Yeah.
Again, with like the comics, and I wonder if like that might change the design of your characters.
Well, they were speaking about something like that. Do you see how deep they were saying that like that might go as well? I can't remember where it was, but it was ages ago. But they were saying like they wanted basically like irreparable effects with this stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where they were saying like if your character dies in the visual novel, you can never play that character again.
What?
Yeah, like there was like rumors of basic conversations like that where they were thinking that level of like it's not going to be a multi-path.
Oh, it's like
just
I saved Lash.
game.
I can play Lash now.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have a choice. Like, does Lash die or does Lash live? But Ivy dies, and then it's like, you know what I mean?
Honestly, that'd be cool. I'd actually, that'd be an interesting route to take the game down.
Bro, pick Lash. He's dead. He's dead.
Dead in my timeline, dude. He's dead in my timeline.
He died in my comic. What do you mean, dude? He's the most imber hero right now. Res him.
Res him. That would be cool, though. It'd be like, imagine a situation where enemy team like picks a character and it's like, oh, because I saved this specific character, I can counter you.
Yeah.
Because I still have him in my roster.
So that's what I mean. It's one of those where it's cool. One of two ways, though. The thing is, Deadlock could have a real big pivot of like a Y intersection where if you went all out, fuck it, I don't give a shit about esports, don't give a shit about competitive games, don't care about anything. I'm just going to make this a fun, weird game that has impact in everything you do. Like, you know what I mean? We've made the visual novel change the way you look, and it means that maybe your characters perma-die if they die. But then obviously people will be very frustrated if it's like, I'm trying to play an esports tournament, but when I did my visual novel, I accidentally knocked over my mouse and now Ivy is dead. You know? And you'd be like, oh, bloody hell. Well, that's unlucky. You can't pick Ivy then.
That's unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, that would be polarizing. It would definitely be polarizing. Some people would hate that, but God, it would be really brutal.
That's what I mean. Like what I'm saying.
He is actually dead.
He's dead. Like he's dead. Yeah. I can't pick him. Like, I can't pick him. You know what I mean? It's Gordon Ramsay. Just pick Lash. What are you doing? Pick the Lash.
You're an idiot sandwich.
Yeah. Stop blowing smoke up my arse. There's no way you killed the Lash.
Right. I need you to pick Lash this instant, and then a splash of Ivy on top would be fantastic. But yeah, it's not happening. It's not happening.
No, can't be done.
I mean, that would be cool. I do like. I think that they also suggested that maybe depending on like what direction you took your characters, maybe you get a different base skin. That'd be cool. Yeah. I think that they should definitely still release skins in the future because money. And I would like the game to continue to be supported, and I imagine people would support through skins. But having a way to like change the base skins of your characters would be cool. Like even just having like some hidden secret scenarios. If you do things very specifically, you get a certain skin. Well, that'd be ace.
See, that's the thing. That's kind of weirdly why, in a way, I like the Valve system. I think it's the best model for skins in gaming. You know what I mean? Like, you pay the base fee, you get a thing, but that's yours. If you sell it, Valve take their cut of the resale if it's done through Steam, but it's your still money that you can get back. It's not as if you've done like a Riot and spent 700 quid on an AK and then that AK's trapped forever. Like, what's the point of that, bud? I think why is it more expensive? It has no value. That literally has no value at all. It's pixels. This is tangible. Like my AK-47 Fire Serpent, for example, would be worth X amount of money now and then X amount of money in the future. And that's like a real tangible thing. That makes sense. Ooh. So that's how like Deadlock skins will probably go. But I think, dude, why don't they just go down the old school route? Why are we not doing this anymore? Like the Christmas skins, where it's an event-based skin, time-based, that's kind of fun, right? But then what if you do actually just reward players with skins that are hard soul-bound to their account? Give me something that only I can have because I did the thing then.
Hold up. Listen to this.
All right.
Imagine, right, the way they do these comics is that it's seasonal-based. It's like a TV show, but in your game. So you get season 1. Okay. Depending on what decisions you made, you unlock skins by doing that. Once the season's over, those skins can't be acquired. You can still play the season if you come back later, but we're on to season 2 now. So you like follow the story as you go through like that. That would be sick. Maybe depending on routes you take, you unlock different skins. So like the same way you said, like a character dies. Maybe it's a case of in your timeline. Maybe Abrams never becomes a detective, and instead he fully goes down the Ixion route.
He's a beet farmer.
He's a beet farmer.
Sell beets.
You get the beet farmer skin. That'd be cool.
He's running a hat.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like that, but I don't know. Maybe it's because you unlock those skins by going down your route. Maybe you still have to pay for them. Yeah, but it's like the skin that you could have got that's grayed out. You can't purchase that one anymore.
Because that's what I think they'll do. I think it will basically be because way back, I think like in the May builds of the game, basically when you could access the visual novels, but unless you just brute force them all open by giving yourself the keys that unlocked them all, right? It would be like you need to have a key to unlock this, earn more XP. So I think the kind of idea they were thinking is like obviously the more games you play, you gain XP. That gives you a key for the visual novel. You progress through each portion of the visual novel. You've done 7 chapters, chosen ending B. Ending B skin is given to you. That visual novel's done. Will that let you go back and do the other directions, or will you have to use the keys again? Who knows? Will you have to pay for keys? Will that be like a thing where basically rather than cases, you have keys that you unlock chapters with and then get rewarded with skins at the end at a certain point, but you can also earn them through playing the game? Yeah. Who really knows? You know what I mean? I feel like it's all question marks at the minute. I don't even know if Valve knows. I remember like talking to Slacks about this stuff. He was basically just saying like the marketing team that kind of decide that stuff are very separate, and they might just come in and just be like, we're monetizing it this way, and that's kind of the way it works.
Don't do that. Maybe it's just a case you earn the skins you earn the keys through experience, you get the base skins from the storylines, you get locked out of other skins. If you want the more primo skins, you pay for them. There you go.
Yeah,
that would be a cool way of doing it.
I think that's fine because I'd like the idea of both. That's what I think I miss. Is I want some skins that are soul bound to me, that you've unlocked and you get to keep and they're yours. And then you get skins that obviously you buy, but that's yours. You can sell it if you want. The value might go up. You sell it. It's cool. It's yours, bro. Like, you want to keep it, keep it. You want to sell it later, sell it. That's fine. But then I think that would also give options for, say, like an event, right? You go to like, I don't know, you go to Blast London and, you know.
Blast London Deadlock. Yeah,
exactly. Cool. That's what I mean, right? And you're like, Wembley! But then you get a skin and you get like Bebop wearing a Union Jack like round his head.
That'd be cool, yeah.
You see what I mean? And it's like something little like that where you can't ever sell it, you can't ever trade it. That's just on your account. That's something for you. Have that Bebop Union Jack head bandana from Blast London. It just says it on there.
Easy, dude. I'd like that. I'd enjoy that. That'd be cool. I think stuff like that should definitely be brought back. Are you remember Army of Two?
Yes, with the masks.
Yeah. Like, dude, let's just get stuff like that back on the go. Like, for instance, you know, you have skins where it's like if you've lash ulted 1,000 people, boom, you get a skin for that, and people immediately know it's like that guy plays a lot of lash.
He's got the double biceps on either side.
Yeah, he's got double biceps on him. One biceps gilded.
See, but I like that stuff. I like the idea of more tangible things changing over time with your character. Like, I feel like skins, sadly, ruin the idea of any sort of like character progression that way, because it's like you've just got transmogs or you've got skins and that's it. There's no like this is the base character model, but this is the character model if you've done this, or this is the character model for this event. You know what I mean? I feel like that's gone. That's just not a thing anymore because everyone wants to pay to own skin.
Again, I think that's why it'd be a cool idea to use those comics as a way to change the base skin of your characters. Like, again, not only would that be a cool way of being like, I've decided the destiny of where these characters have gone, but also it's like people playing the game, they see that your Lash has like grown out his hair, or he looks slightly disheveled. Yeah, like he's been through a rough one. It's like, damn, that guy took that path. Huh? That's crazy. I think that'd be cool. That'd be really cool.
Because I've been saying this, and I'll keep saying this because I know it's going to be true as well. Like, everyone's looking at Deadlock right now as if it's just like MOBA game, right? But it ain't. Deadlock is literally going to be like a multi-game, whatever you want it to be. You know what I mean? It's going to be the most popular westernized Otame game. It's going to be the most popular Source 2 minigame making thing, where you go in, you make a tower defense, you go in, you make a single player game, because the tools are going to be there one day, workshop's going to be there one day, and the base game is really fun, looks really cool, it has all these fun things to play around with, right? I think Deadlock is just going to become one of those where, especially once it starts getting exaggerated Dota 2 style seasonal events, where they just cook up crazy stuff, they're throwing it in. You get the battle pass, you get whatever else Valve add to it. You know what I mean? There's going to be so much, but the base game is already sick. Even this bare bones, which is what it is. Like, it's very fleshed out. It's very great. But when you think about the fact that it is just a test, it's an alpha. Like, it's a little testing test. When it's got everything it could be, it's going to be unbelievable. Like, I genuinely guarantee people will be playing it just for the Otame game. It'll be happening.
Which is fair enough. I mean, this has been a cool podcast, honestly, because we're going to talk a lot. I think this is more talk about, like, the comic book style thing, like how they're going to handle skins, character progression. That's all really cool. I enjoy talking about this stuff overall. And you know what? I'd be curious for you guys at home, after listening to this bad boy, what you guys think they should do with the comics. Do you think they should be changing base skins? Do you think they should unlock characters, skins through that way? Should we kill Lash? Should he be killed permanently?
There you go, yeah.
That's to you. That's to you.
It's like that episode of The Simpsons,
Which one?
What was it? It was like May 11th.
You've thrown that one out. Curveball at me.
Do you not remember that? They had people vote on like which Simpsons character would die. Vote for what Simpsons character will die. Hang on. Yeah, and then I think they killed Snowball, the cat.
Oh my god, it's rough.
Right?
All right, then. That might be a good way to end this podcast, then. Who vote for which character will you kill in your comic book series? Who would you kill, Jacky?
Who would I kill?
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Between like, it's a toss-up between Hayes and this character. I know you love Hayes.
Yeah, Hayes can live. She's all right. She can, like, it's not her fault the build's an issue.
But it's her or any one of the other characters.
I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, I'd be gravitating towards saving her. That's what I'm trying to think. Like, who would I put on the chopping block then? Who would I just get rid of? Man,
I'd snap Kelvin right in the head.
It's kind of tough. Yeah, but again, like, I don't hate Kelvin.
You not hate Kelvin?
I don't feel aggression towards Kelvin in which I would wish him death. I think more potentially it would be.
He's already died. I was like,
he's undead
for him.
Yeah,
it's just round two.
Maybe they just lock him away. Like, he's still alive, but he's like in a help me. He's in a little box.
They just put him back in the icicle.
Yeah,
that'd be
take
cool.
him back.
Yeah,
man.
The problem is so many characters are so likable. Like, that really is the issue.
It's rough to find it down. You know what? I think just for now, if it had to be one of them, I don't know. Though it's so
this
hard.
Is a new comic. It's a new comic book scenario. Valve has done this to you, right?
Every time I'm thinking,
requested this.
Yeah, but they're not saying like choose one. That's the problem. It's so hard to choose. It'd have to be a pick A or B in front of me. Like, if it was like Hayes or McGuinness, I pick Hayes. If it was Hayes or Abrams, I pick Hayes.
You couldn't single someone out.
No, that's the thing. Deliberately picking someone to take down. I feel like they're all.
I respect that.
They're all survivable.
This might be a better question above everything then. Instead of who would you kill,
Yep.
guys, out of all the characters, which one would you save the most?
Okay,
So,
yeah. That's pretty
There's
good.
always going to be a consequence. You don't know what that consequence is.
Someone's got to die. Like someone's got to put
But
someone
like,
down.
who are you going to save? Yeah. I'm going to save anyone. I'd save Viper, obviously. I'm a big Viper fan.
Yeah, you could say Viper. That'd be okay.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be
I'm
fun.
a Viper.
Just really hard, I'm looking at the character list right now. Like they're all such nice people.
I know.
Horrible, but all such nice people. Like
I know,
you
it's
wouldn't
hard,
really
right?
wish ill on too many of them. I think the only character I literally have zero connection to would be Wrecker. That's
Really?
literally the only one I can think of where I'm just like, I don't really care for you.
Yeah, fair enough.
I
think if I didn't love Viper so much, I'd probably save Abrams. He's had a rough lot. He's had a really rough lot. I think he deserves a little bit of.
Mo and Krill can always live. If I had to save someone, like I like Mo and Krill, they're good guys. You know, they're nice dudes. I feel like that's kind of like a Lenny situation.
Yeah, I think they actually have a very good philosophy.
Yeah,
Mo and Krill. And like we steal from the rich, but often it's the rich that pays us. They're just getting by.
These paws can burrow through anything. Yes, that's
I
right.
thought you meant something else for a second.
That's what you know what I mean. Yeah.
The poor.
Yeah. No, it's just mental, mate.
Okay.
Maurice, start digging. Could you imagine the Mo and Krill cosplays at events?
Oh man, that would go hard, like a dad and a son.
That would be mental. Like, Maurice, start digging.
It's a father of 52.
I'm really out of breath, son. I'm really out of breath. I do know you love this hit video game. Deadlock. I think I'm a mole, son.
Look at me beady eyes, son.
Sand attack. Oh man,
He's just brought up some sand from.
huge sand. Like he's bought it from home base
Brighton.
before the event. Throws it into the crowd. Could the man in the mole costume please stop throwing sand at the commentators? But my son said it's got to blind them.
What has been actually blinded?
Oh man,
Quite. He's got as coarse as sand he can find. Oh,
yeah. Dude, that's the other thing. I do think as well, though, by the way, as a legitimate idea that could be cool that no one's even thinking of right now. Right now, game just begins because game just ends, right? At most, you have the little segment at the beginning where maybe there's an occasional taunt from some people that know to press middle mouse button. Ping.
or whatever your ping button is. Yeah.
Use your ping. You get to flame each other before the start of the game. That's new. That was brought in with a free lane change, if you didn't know. But you ever played Titanfall?
I was playing the other day.
All right, yeah. But you've played multiplayer for Titanfall.
I did, yes.
Yeah, okay, sick. You know when you're like going in at first and you are actually on a dropship, then you get dropped into the map. And when you end the game, you get picked up by the dropship and peace out. And you're like, see ya. But it's all real. It all happens in the game. It's not like a cutscene. It's just tangible. Like, I thought that was unreal. No one else has ever done it anywhere near as good. Call of Duty tried to rip it off, but all they did was like cutscene where it's like, I'm in a van. Now I'm playing the game, right? But what...
There it is again.
What if you actually did tangibly have that experience? If I would love, scrap the little waiting area where everyone's standing around, turn that whole big train station thing into an actual train station. You get on the zip lines together. You're waiting for the zip lines. So you're like in a train station. You come on in, right? So it's like you're seeing each other. Then you're on the zip lines. You're on your way in. It's like, oh, damn, that's cool. Now I know who I'm facing off against. You passed each other on the subway. Sick. When the game ends, you actually literally have to fight amongst each other to see which one of you gets to the patron to make your wish. So it's a battle royale at the end of the game. You win a game of Deadlock, you have a 1v5 versus all your teammates. Whoever survives gets the patron, their cutscene plays of them making their wish.
That'd be cool.
Right?
It'd get old real quick, but it'd be cool.
But it would be fun, no? Because
it would be fun.
Because then it's like patron grifts granted. You know what I mean? You're trying to get them all. You want to get them all. Maybe some comic books require you to get them. See what happens.
Every single character's wish.
You see what I'm saying?
That might be real endgame stuff. Yeah.
Where legit, like that's the other thing. It's good because that's like the idea in lore. Because you get it when I think it's like Is it like Hayes and Seven or something? She's just like, how long do we wait before we fight each other after we summon the patron?
Oh, that's kind of sad.
So it's like, that's the whole point. Like, they're not actually, only one of them gets the wish, homie. So like, they gotta beat each other to death. You know what I mean?
You made me cry, bro. That's so
Viscous
sad.
is there, like, please.
I need to save the sea.
I just
and
want
enemies.
to save everyone from the monster in the deep. And they're like, all right, mate, shut up. I'm gonna
Shut up. I need some money.
Yeah. I want to kill everyone to get revenge for my dead family. It's like, all right, great Talon.
Talon's there just like, can I have my family back?
I can't do that, Grey Talon, but I can burn them down. That's mental as well. Like, that is literally his wish, where it's like, thought about trying to get my family rezzed. Can't do it. Won't happen. We'll just have to take out revenge. We'll have to go for the revenge option, please, patron. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my days. It's got dark real quick.
That's what I actually do believe. Like, if Valve went down that route, that'd be sick, dude. Having a little pre-game, post-game, like that event. Because right now, it just feels like nobody even really knows what summoning the patron is. Like, for the most part, the casual audience, they're just like, the game is over. But it's not. That technically is where it's just began, homie. They've only just summoned him. Whomst is the patron? Is he lying? Will you get your wish? What wish will you get?
Find out next time.
I mean? That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, it's all right there. It's all right there. Type that up. That's going on the forums tonight.
Write that down. Write that down.
No, quick.
Yeah,
Squirrel
that's cool.
down.
I actually, you know what? The other stuff, I'm a little bit on the fence about. Could be cool.
But you
I
mean like
enjoy
no
it.
stoppable?
Stoppable was...
No one's stoppable?
That was crazy. No, I think the cutscene about the patron, I'm like, that needs workshopping a little bit. But the subway stuff you recommended, that I'm on board with. I'm quite literally on board with the subway. That was a good one.
It wouldn't be a cutscene. It would actually just be in game.
Yeah, you'd be in it. You'd be in it. Yeah.
Because then also, like, when you're mad, like, power leveled out at the end of the game, you all fight amongst your team. You have a little 1v6, you know what I mean? Everyone's fighting everyone. You're all enemies at that point. Yeah. I think that'd be fun. And it'd be like an extra little spice on the end. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I won. I get to summon the patron. Make your wish, Kelvin.
Make it happen. Yeah. Maybe you could choose the wish. Oh, we're going too deep now.
Well, no, that's the thing. But everyone's got their own wish, haven't they? They've all got their own wish.
Oh, and it accords to you.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be which hero you play. So then you'd unlock that, and that would be like a variant where it's like if you won a game and got your wish summoned, now you can have Grey Talon, but he's slightly less sad because he got his revenge. Yeah. Or Viscous, he TPs to the deep, and he's like Booyaka Shah. And
I like how we're like, Valve, you need to fix the problems of the game. Like, there's some mechanics, some we need to adjust them. At the same time, we're like, bring out the comics.
Have you thought about adding this and this and this?
Oh, if I was Valve, I'd be sick of me right now.
But also, dude, that'd be lit, because then the other thing
It would be cool.
You sell those as hardback books at events.
Oh,
you see what I mean?
Maybe you get your... Hear me out.
All right.
You get your own custom hardback. Costs quite a bit of money.
The choices you
but
made.
It's your choices.
They print it. And they're like, psh. There you go.
You could automate that, probably.
Yeah, well, yeah. You probably just have to what it'd be is basically a pre-order system where you upload your Steam account to the Valve store before you go to the event.
But imagine you get it delivered. Do you remember like the old-timey Stanley comics?
Stanley worked in an office.
Do you remember the old-timey comics, like the Spider-Man pow, on the fronts, like the really old, stuff like that? You get that sent to you.
That'd be sick.
And it's like your actual choice in the comic book, and you get it pre-ordered for each season you do.
Yeah.
I'd enjoy that.
Bro, this is what I mean. The marketing potential is limitless.
That shit.
Like, it's
hating
unreal.
that shit right now.
It's up there. Like, everyone's going to be going nuts.
We need to get on the fucking forums.
There's going to be Deadlock Osu. It's all going to be happening. Like...
Oh, dear me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's really been a banger of an episode.
I think it's been a good one.
Yeah.
Like, dude, that guy who tunes in for the first 5 minutes, then complains, saying, don't even talk about Deadlock.
Mango socks.
Yeah, get banged. What now?
Yeah.
What now? Yeah? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, dear me. Well, I hope you all enjoyed this podcast. Again, who would you save? Would you be interested in pre-ordering a comic book of your specific choices. Let us know.
We just need the 4 funky digits
on the back of your card.
Submit to deadair.com.
We'll make an epic comic book for you, but we might empty a couple of zeros out your bank account.
It's all worth it. It's for a good cause. It's for a good cause. Right, see you later then.
Bye-bye.
You can go. Doors open.
Go out.
Doors open, mate.
We're closing the comic book now.
You can
what you
come
doing?
on.
You still here?
You're being a bit weird now, aren't you? Do you want to leave?
Yeah. You want to stare off?
Right. Well,
stare you down a little bit.
Do you like that?
You want us to leave? We could do that too. It'd be a bit awkward though.
Right, I've had enough now. I'll roll the transition. He's being weird.
You've been weird.
You've been weird.
You've been weird.